Hello everyone. I, Dr. Mandeep Kaur, is going to deliver my lecture on my topic networking models. So, I belong to School of Engineering and Technology from City University. So, my today's my topic is networking model. So, the objective of this model is you will able to understand about the importance of networking, various types of network used for the communication and for transferring our data, understanding about OSI model, okay, and the various tasks which are to be performed by OSI models. Now I am going to start my lecture with one example of between there are two person, one name is Maria and other is Anne. So they are going to communicate with each other, but they are using the different languages, but they knows about the sign of their languages. So here you can see that two persons are here, Maria and Anne, on both layers, and there is a signal sign between them. Now let's assume that Maria and Anne are neighbors with a lot of common ideas. However, Maria is able to speak only Spanish and Anne speaks only English. Both have learned the sign language from their childhood, before they started their communication, and they enjoy meeting in a cafe for a couple of days per week and exchange their ideas about sign. So communication is face to face and happens in one layer according to this figure. So here we are having three layers in this diagram, and there is a post office and translator is used for communicating or for translating their languages. So now assume Anne has moved to the another town because of her job. Now before she moves, the two meet for the last time on the same cafe. Although both are sad, Maria surprises Anne when she opens a packet and she contains two small machines. The first machine can scan and then transform that language into another language, means from transform a letter in a English to a secret code and vice versa. So the why this secret code is to be used? Because the third person cannot access their data. Another third person cannot be able to hear or understand the data. That's why the secret code is to be used. Here is a concept of encryption and decryption. Data is to be encrypted, means plain text is to be converted into ciphertext, and further in the case of decryption, the ciphertext is converted into plain text. So the other machine can scan and translate a letter in Spanish to the same secret code and vice versa. So N takes a first machine, Maria keeps the second one, so that they can easily communicate with each other. The two friends can still communicate using a secret code that is shown in this figure. So here are three layers. In first layer there is a post office which transmit data. This is called the first layer, means which is able use the physical medium to transmit the data. Then there is a transistor which translate the data. Then that data is to be shifted to, that data is to be hand over to the particular person. Now come to the OSI model. This model is to be established in 1947. The full form for this is International Standard Organization, which is the multi-body that dedicated the worldwide agreement about this open system interface. Almost 3-4 countries in the world are represented in ISO. That is this is the organization. Keep in mind, ISO is an organization and OSI is a model. International Standard Organization stands standard that covered all aspects of network communication, that is open system interconnection model. It was first introduced in 1970s. Open system interconnection means this is the open system which is used to connect your data or which is used to transfer your data on a network. Term open denotes to the ability to connect the two systems which conform the reference model and associated standards. With the help of OSI model, from this topic, you are able to learn about how to facilitate to communicate between the two different systems without requiring changes to the means without change the logic or without change your data. Now, ISO is a organization, OSI is a model. Now we will talk about the OSI model layers. We are having 7 layers in this model, started from physical layer, and it is to be followed by data link layer, then network layer, transport, session layer, presentation layer, and the last one is application layer. These layers are very important for the network, for transmission of data. These layers have their own responsibilities. By following that responsibilities or by obeying that responsibilities, your data is to be moved on a network. So, OSI model layer, let's suppose you are having two devices, device A and device B. Now, these devices are connected with some physical mode, means there is a intermediate nodes which are connected with each other and they connect the different devices. So, the data is to be moved by following that path. Now, from the on the sender side, or you can say that on the device A side and device B side, there are equally 7 layers will work. From the device A, it will work from the application layer to physical layer, and in the side of device B, it will work from the physical layer to application layer. So, in the device A, we are having application layer, presentation, session layer, transport, network, data link and physical layer. Now, physical layer is connected with each other, means physical medium which is to be used for transmitting a data. That is called a physical communication, that is to be established between two physical layers. An exchange using OSI model. Now we are having two devices, let's suppose two laptops are here, and in this you are having this code by following some header. This is H1 header used, H2 header by following number of headers. Why these headers are to be used? So that data is to be mentioned that this is the heading of the data and from this to this data is to be used. Now there is a transmission medium, you can say that it is to be followed by bus topology or any other topologies for movement of data. Now same as this side. Now you can see that this data is to be moved with the help of transmission media to the other device. Now in open system interconnection model, we are having these layers started from application, or you can start from the physical layer, but data movement is from application to physical, and on the other side it's from physical to application layer. Physical layer contains hubs, repeaters, means number of devices which are connected, which are used for the exchanging of data. And in the case of data link layer, means the link devices, ATM switches, Ethernets, these comes in the data link. And in the case of network, which type of network is to be used? IPv4, IPv6, IPX routers, means which kind of route is to be followed by the data for its movement. Transport layer, that is TCP, IP, UDP, SPX, transmission control protocols, means which type of protocol is to be used for the transmission of data. Session layer, it controls the session between the number of applications, means which type of application, if data is to be going on from your devices, means it assure that the application is to be installed on that devices. Like, so let's suppose you are sending your data on WhatsApp, then it will ensure that on the both devices, or the number of devices in which data is to be exchanged, that will contain the WhatsApp or any other application medium. Now, presentation layer, it will use the which type of format presentation, which type of format is to be used, Sky code, GIF, MPG, what type of PNG, what type of the data it will be followed. Application layer will contain the file transfer protocol, domain name system, HTTP, DCHP, Telnet, like this. These type of applications are to be used. Now, data means the number of application. Data is basically called a collection of similar type of files. Application, presentation, session, these will come in the data. Segmentation, it will come in the transport layer. Means data is to be divided into different segments for its movement, and that data is in the form of divided into number of packets. Means data is segmented, then that segments are converted into packets, small packets or datagrams, and then again that packets are to be framed in a framing, and that frames will contain a 1-bit data. This is called binary data. Okay. Now, each layer provides a service to the layer for the each protocol in the each protocol specification. Last 4 layers, transport, network, data link and physical layer, and the layer 4, 3, 2, 1, these are connected and used for the flowing of the data from end to end on a network. So, the upper 4 layers are application, presentation, session layers. These are oriented more towards the services and its applications. Data encapsulation and the protocols which are helpful for the transmission of the data moves its data on the different layers before your network is to be transit. Now, physical layer is responsible for moving individual bits from one to next. So, the physical layer makes sure that the bits or the data which is to be moved from node to node, it will make sure that data is moved from one node to another node. Now, we are having summary of the OSI layer. Let's talk about the application layer. It allows to assess the network resources. Presentation layer will work on the encryption and compression of the data. Session layer will manage and terminate the session, means in which time your data is to be moved. Transport layer means reliable processes are used for transmission of the data. It will make sure the error recovery will become in this part. Network layer, it moves packets from source to destination, and it also provides the internetworking between your data or between your devices. Now, data link layer, it divides the bits into frames and then provide the hope to hope delivery. Hope to hope delivery means it will make sure that your data is to be moved hope by hope. Physical layer transmits bits over the medium to provide the mechanical and electrical specification. Now, this is a private internet diagram. There is a link 1 and it is to be followed with the help of number of links. Like this, we are having 6 links. Now, link 1 is to be in the A device, and it will follow these R1, R2 are the routers which are placed here, and it will make sure that this will follow the accurate route for movement of data. Now, from A, data will go to it will follow the route R1, then this linked device with the R1 is R3 and R2. Okay, then the second link device it will follow, then third, like this it will reach to the link 6. Now communication at physical layer, you can see same the diagram is. This is called source and this is called destination. Physical layer A and there is a physical layer B, and these three are routers R1, R1, R3 and R4. This will follow R1, then it will follow R3, then it will follow R4, then it will reach to its another B device. See, A is connected with R1. Now R1 will follow route R3, R3 will follow route R4, then R4 will deliver data to link device B. Now the unit of communication at physical layer is a bit, means the data which is moved on a physical layer, that is to be moved bit by bit. Now communication at data link layer will be like this. Same, there is a source, destination, D data, H means header. Now two layers will come on the A side and B side. Now data is going by following the route R1, then data with header D2 head, there D2 data is having a frame and that data is to be having with the header. It's moved to router 3. Now D2 frame and header 2 will move to the H2, then to the particular device. Now from the previous one you can see that the data is having with its header. The communication of the data link layer is frame. The communication on the physical layer was bit. Now the communication on the data link layer is a frame. Now on a network layer you can see there are again same thing, but there are 3 layers in A side and B side also. Same route will be followed, but it will make sure that these devices are connected. Make sure that the data moving from device A to device B, it will make sure that the accuracy of data on the devices. The unit of communication at network layer is datagram. Now communication at transport layer, 4 layers will come. Same route will be followed, but data is in the form of segments. Earlier data was in the form of datagrams. Now data is in the form of segments in a transport layer. So the communication and transport layer is segment user datagram, or that depends on the packet for specific protocol which is used in the layer. Now communication at application layer. There are 5 layers which will be followed by sending data from device A to device B. Now this message is to be used by D5 and D5. Now the communication at application layer is message. Now come to the physical layer, responsibility of physical layer. It is responsible for moving a data from one node to another node, and it defines a rule by bit passes one system to another on a physical communication medium. It basically deals with the physical communication medium, which type of physical medium is to be used. It covers all the mechanical, electrical, functional and procedural aspects in the physical communication. Like it also take care about the voltage levels, timing of voltage changes, physical data rates and transmission on the different distances, physical connections and other similar attributes which are to be defined in the physical layer. It concerned with physical characteristics of the medium, representation of bit, electrical, electromagnetic, optical, then there is a data rate, line configuration, synchronization of data, physical topology which is to be used, and transmission mode, whether it is a simplex, half duplex or full duplex. Now you can see from this diagram, there is a transmission medium. Data comes from data link layer, that this is the data, and it moves to the by following some physical medium to the another layer, and that data is to be shifted to data link layer. Now data link layer attempts and provides a reliable communication over the physical layer interface. It breaks the data into number of frames and resembles and received that frames. Then for the movement of, it is responsible for the movement of that frames on a network. It will make sure that data is to be moved node to node. And next, hope. Framing divides the data from network layer into frames. It handles the errors and implementing the acknowledgement and retransmission of that data into a channel. Now this is the data link layer picture. Now data link layer concerned with the framing of data, means that data is to be divided into number of frames and number of segments. Then physical addressing. For transmission of data, address is must. If you want to send data, then the address should be there to whom you are sending data, at which email ID or on which application or on which number you are going to send data. Any other medium you can, the data movement is same by following different mediums. Now flow control, in which flow your data is to be moved on a network, this is to be taken care by the data link layer. Error control is also here, means it will make sure that the data which is to be moved, that should be error free, means if there is any error, that should be controlled by the data link layer. Assess control means which is to be which data is to be assessed and how that data is to be assessed. Hope to hope delivery is here, means hope to hope delivery means it will move from the which device to by following which route. It will make sure the data movement on the routes, means let us suppose a device is sending data on R1. The responsibility of this layer is it will make sure that this data is moved to this side. Then it will make sure that the data is moved from R1 to R3, then R4. It will not make sure that the data movement from A1, R1, R3. It depends on the node to node. Hope to hope delivery is here. Okay, thank you so much. So, other layers we will discuss in our coming lectures. So, thank you. Till then, bye bye.